change out the elements and one broken brick in this L&L kiln. So the first things you want to do are make sure the kiln is on, okay? And to do that, you just flick this toggle switch down. Then you want to unplug the kiln. Screws here. Now, all of these, this is what separates the new kilns from the old kilns, is they have all these nice little plug-in terminals for things rather than just random wires running all over creation. And these are labeled, so it's pretty easy to just connect things and figure out, you know, where it goes back again. But just a good idea, since we all have cell phones, is to, before you disconnect anything, take a picture or two or three. That's why we keep these logs, as you can see that, okay, when the kiln was new and the elements were new, it took this long to do a bisque firing, and this long to do a glaze firing. And when you start to see that time increase to the point that it's, you know, a pain, where all of a sudden now it's taking 14 hours to do what used to take 12 hours, or your glazes are looking overfired, that's an indication that the resistance in the element is built up to the point that it just isn't heating properly, and it's taking longer and longer and longer to get done what used to get done quickly. Just assembling all these things here. These are your thermocouples, which I want to show you. One over the weekend, Steve Aitchison was firing, and he got a message on the controller that says fail. And that message only comes up when a thermocouple fails, breaks. And so he had to replace the thermocouple. And I'll show you. Rings go when you go to put it back together. Okay, so that's the brand new thermocouple, okay? And take out this one. Well, we replaced both. That's good. Okay, there's two thermocouples in this kiln. Now the next thing we do is we remove the element connections. And a big washer, and then you got an element. And since we're not reusing these elements, you can untwist them. These will have to be pulled through the wall, so you want to make sure these are as straight as you can get them. I would not cut these loops off if you were somehow planning on reusing the elements, but since we're not, we can just cut them.
Okay, so we're done taking off all the things. Just sit on each other.
And we'll just set this. We can take these out. Both rings. Amazing enough to me, this is the only kiln brand I know of that does these thermocouple protection tubes. I sort of, for whatever reason, thought that an element would last, or a thermocouple would last forever inside these tubes, because they're kind of protected from the atmosphere and things. But no, the gases actually permeate these ceramic tubes. Oh. That is the oxidation of a thermocouple. And this is what the wire looks like when it's brand new. This is what it looks like when it's old. And one would think, oh, you still got wire there, you still got wire there. Actually, all you've got is crust. The wire has completely disappeared, which is why this failed. It was eventually the wire just broke inside that crust.
There it is.
And there's the crust. So these are things that are easy to change, and periodically you'll have to do that.
And just wait.
Take the elements out. That is done with two people. One person needs to be wearing a pair of gloves. Both people could be wearing a pair of gloves. The elements should, once you straighten these pins out as straight as you can get them, you should be able to pull them out through with needle nose pliers. If they have warped or expanded to the degree that they will not come out of the element holder, then we use a propane torch to heat the element. And that'll make the element very soft and stretchy, and you can manipulate it out. What we don't want to do is break these element holders. So try to avoid that. At some point this block is going to have to come off too in order for us, because what we'll have to do to replace this brick after we get the elements out is we're going to have to loosen this stainless steel band enough to slip the brick out and slip the new brick in. And this may have to come off in order. And probably this is the part where you're going to need them, because you see how gnarly the elements are, where they pass through. This is probably, once you get this undone, it'll come through. But you want to heat the element up until it's glowing red. Now you want to get in there and pull. This is why you want to wear gloves.
And why you need two people.
See how flexible that wire gets when it's hot? You probably could have done a better job of straightening that wire out.
Okay, how do I turn this on?
How do you turn this on? You just make sure this is on.
Yeah.
And then you push the button.
Oh, okay. It's on.
Oh, that's right. You're not a gas fire. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It connects right to the next one.
Yeah, each element goes twice around the.
So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay, while you do that, I'm going to go back.
There we go.
I was gonna say sorry in advance for phone you. Yours came out easier than mine did.
Good job. I'm sure it was the torch.
So yeah, so you might need to use the torch now.
Awesome. Is this where it goes through? Down in that corner? Right, yeah, right in there.
I kind of remember it actually.
Yeah.
It's coming back to me because I think Julian helped with that one. That was before COVID.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Was I gonna put it the right direction? Let's see. Could have just been doing this for no reason. Tell you what, it doesn't want to sit much. I don't think it wants to bend that way.
Oh, no, is that where it's down? Okay.
Yeah, I should go over there. Why is it? It's like too tall to like go in. Oh my gosh.
This is where I seem to remember having to heat things up.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering. That is quite a bit taller, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Shall we do that then?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like I'm afraid if we don't. We're now getting it into this gap with that bent. It made our hole small. don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Years, hopefully.
When was the last time this was done? Has it been that long, or is it?
It's been a while, but this kiln gets used.
a lot.
This is why I say, you know, if we can avoid using this kiln for, you know,
Okay,
firing six
so
pots,
then
firing
you
six
hitch
pots,
a
firing
little
six
bit.
pots,